What is up, y'all? Today we're going to be working on the uppercut. Now the uppercut is a great tool used to couple other punches. It also can be used as a great lead. So let's get into it, shall we? The uppercut comes from the hip. It's almost like a hook, but at a different angle. So when you're throwing this uppercut, it's used to lift the person's chin up and to use other punches to couple with it. Now, it's at that 90-degree angle. You don't want to scoop it. It's still to the point right there. See that 90-degree angle right there? It's just like that hook, just at a different angle. And there's still that pivot in that foot when you're throwing it. So when you're throwing an uppercut, that pivot comes along. That's what adds an extra amount of power to that shot. So there's three types of uppercuts, okay? So there's the traditional short uppercut. There's a long uppercut. That one is for more distance control, all right? And then we've got the bolo. Boom. That one is more of like, it's almost like you're throwing a fastball, and I'll get more into detail about that one. Okay, so first we're gonna work on that short uppercut. So the short uppercut, that is for close distance. You can use your shoulder, use that nice shoulder bump and throw that short uppercut. Or it can be even off of a slip and then you throw that short uppercut. But this short uppercut is just like how it's explained. It's short, so it's supposed to be a close distance shot, okay? Now, the long uppercut. Now this isn't the short one where that one's nice and compact. The long uppercut, that one's beautiful with even the lead hand, okay? Because it can be coupled with the cross. So you can lead off with that uppercut and it's great coupled with that cross, okay? So even with the backhand, again, it's a long, okay? So it's used for distance control and it's beautiful for engagement. Okay, and lastly, you've got that bolo punch. So this one's almost like, I would describe it as a fastball kind of movement, or like a person has a machete and he's chopping at a tree, okay, and it's coming back out. So this is a very powerful shot, but it leaves you vulnerable to counters because it's not a very direct punch. But if it lands, it can put a person away. All right, a great example for that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with UFC or anything, but I know you're probably familiar with Conor McGregor. He has a great fight finish back in, I don't know, what this was, like 2008, something like that, against Marcus Brimage, and he absolutely crushed Marcus Brimage at the end of that fight using uppercuts and bolo punches and movement and slips. You guys should see. Actually, I'll probably just show you guys. All right, now here's some quick tips for you guys. So the first tip is the hips. As always, those hips are involved with these punches. Remember, it adds extra power. So with every shot you throw, and that is including that uppercut, the hips are involved. So make sure you are opening and closing those doors, which are your hips, okay? That's tip number one. Tip number two, remember the pivot. The pivot in the toes when you're throwing these shots as well. That adds extra power. It's always from the feet on up to the hips, on up to the arms themselves. Okay, so that's tip number two. Tip number three, a great coupling shot with this uppercut is a hook. Because think about it this way, you are throwing that uppercut, it's lifting the chin. That hook comes right across and it's pushing that chin across. So lifting up and you're pushing that chin across. Boom. All right, so those are all the tips for you on that, you guys. All right, you guys, that is it on the uppercut. Thank you for watching. So now you guys have learned the uppercut. You've learned the hooks, you've learned the jab and the cross. That's pretty much all of them for the most part. So now we can get into more intricate parts, a little bit of more detail as to why these shots are and what makes them work. All right, so thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Do that quick.